Ginger Runner.
What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another GingerRunner.com review. I am reviewing a shoe today from a brand I have not yet reviewed, but I have been very excited to review, and that is Topo Athletic. It is the Runventure. Cool. Before we get started with review, I have to thank my friends over at 7 Hills Running for hooking me up with a pair of the Topo Runventures. Thank you, Phil and crew. For those of you maybe unfamiliar with Topo Athletic, it is created by a man named Tony Post. Topo, it's adorable, the former CEO of Vibram USA. Basically branched off, created his own shoe company, and this is one of the models that they have just released. They're a new shoe company. I haven't been able to run in any other shoes other than the Runventure. While all of them are built with a similar philosophy in mind, a wider toe box, a lower stack height, and a lower heel drop, the Runventure is specifically designed for technical trails, a bit gnarlier terrain than its younger brethren, the MT. Features a bit more rugged upper, the same outsole, but it also includes a rock plate and a 2mm drop, so it is a bit different. I have managed to put some good miles in the shoe, and I'm going to tell you what I like and dislike about the Topo Athletic Runventure. Things that I like. The toe box. I'm a big fan of wider toe boxes, enough room where your toes can actually splay. The Runventure has room in the toe box. It's nice to get a shoe on that has it. It's very similar to Altra. I would say the main differences come in the midfoot and heel, where you can get them locked in a little bit tighter, a little bit more snug. So I really like the way this fits through the foot for the most part. Durability. With the number of miles that I've put on this shoe, I'm surprised it looks as good as it does. While it does retain some trail dust, for the most part, it stays clean. There's no seam splitting whatsoever. The outsole is barely showing any signs of wear, which is really nice. I absolutely anticipate this shoe going a long ways. Super durable. Responsive. It's not a super cushion shoe. Sock liner and the EVA don't give you a ton of cushion, but for those of you who might be used to a more minimal or a lower stack height shoe, this might be for you. It gives you that ample protection while keeping you low to the ground while maintaining a nice responsive profile. Good for quick cadence. In my opinion, better for shorter distances, but with all of the trail features combined, it's good for nice technical trails. Grip. I was actually pleasantly surprised by the outsole just looking at it. I honestly didn't think it was going to give me much grip at all, but on dry surfaces or semi-wet surfaces, it actually did pretty well. Primarily on descents, which is where I wanted to feel most stable. It absolutely excels in rocky, dry, technical trails. Nice and grippy. But now it is time for dislikes. Lack of cushioning. While this might be completely user dependent, I didn't feel like this shoe had much cushioning at all, despite the fact that it has EVA and it's a fairly medium stack height shoe. I anticipated more, I didn't get a lot, and it was a bit disappointing, especially on longer runs. Longest run I got out of this was about 12 miles, and my legs were feeling it by the end. I actually liken the cushioning in this shoe to the Innovate Ultra 290, which I also felt was a bit clunky and had its own array of dislikes, but when compared to the Runventure, it had that similar lack of cushioning. Lacing. Now this is an interesting shoe. The tongue is gusseted, but it is attached pretty much right where the laces go through their holes. So if you need to tighten down your midfoot, you're gonna run into an issue of an overlapping tongue, which is what happened to me because I really like to tighten down my midfoot area to lock that in. And unfortunately, when your layers aren't detached, all one piece, fabric fold over becomes an issue, which causes layering and causes hot spots and chafing and all sorts of issues. I was bummed out about that. Break-in? Now I talk about this a lot with reviewing shoes. I feel like shoes should be pretty damn good right out of the box. I don't want to have to wait 40 or 50 miles to break them in. With this shoe, I felt it got a bit better the more I wore it. However, now 55 miles or so into my wear test, is it going to get any better? Is it going to open up for me? Is it all of a sudden going to be this cushioned godsend of a shoe? I doubt it. I think it's for a specific type of runner, those who might be used to a more minimalistic or a more responsive shoe. So I'm not going to get my hopes up that it is going to entirely break in, but there is that period where it did get better, as opposed to being great right out of the box. And finally, flexibility. It's not a major issue right here in the forefoot, but throughout the shoe, because of the new rock plate in this version, it's stiffened up the shoe quite a bit, and that actually contributes to the responsiveness as well as the lack of cushioning. Kind of makes it a bit harsher ride, but great for technical terrain. So unfortunately, the flexibility is lacking in this shoe, which is a kind of a bummer. That being said, that is it for dislikes. So overall, while I wouldn't necessarily consider this my go-to trail shoe, it has a very specific place in a runner's arsenal. And if you are a specific type of runner, those who like a more minimal, lower stack height, lower heel drop, wide toe box, responsive ride, absolutely check this shoe out because it's done some pretty cool things on nasty trails. And it's gonna last you a long time. And it actually makes me really curious about the other Topo Athletic shoes that are available now that I haven't tried and future versions that I could potentially try. It's a new shoe company. Now let's get on with the points. Quality, I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5. I think that the durable materials all combined make to a nice quality shoe. Comfort, I'm gonna actually downgrade them a little bit to 3 out of 5. It wasn't the most comfortable shoe that I've worn. Again, this is gonna take some adaptation. You're gonna need to get used to it. You're gonna need to break it in a little bit, but still, I didn't feel like I got a lot of comfort out of this shoe, especially for longer runs. Price at $110, that's a 4 out of 5 for me. It's a decent price point. I think it's a little high, so I did have to dock them a little bit. And finally, looks. You know, I'm cool with the red, but I'm gonna give them a 3.5, which I'm gonna have to round down to 3. So I'm gonna give looks 3 out of 5. It's not the best looking shoe. I think they can take more risks here. And that brings our grand total to 14 out of 20 for the Topo Runventure. I like the name of it. Not a terrible score for the shoe, but I definitely think that there's some room for improvement on this one. But it is not the only trail shoe that they offer, or road shoe for that matter. I know that there's a couple new versions coming out this year as well, which I should definitely get my feet in and try, because this is a great introduction to the brand, and I'm excited to kind of see where they go. But I'm gonna leave the question up to you. I know that there are some Topo fans out there. Have you guys run into the Runventure, and what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And again, I have to be sure to thank 7 Hills Running for giving me a pair of the Topo Runventures to review. Thank you. You guys are awesome. If you like this review, like, favorite, and subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/thegingerrunner. And be sure to follow me on all the social networks. Over on Twitter, it's @thegingerrunner. On Facebook, facebook.com/thegingerrunner. On Instagram, it's @EthanNewberry and gingerrunner.com. Don't forget, every single Monday, I'm doing live shows at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with guests from around the industry, whether professionals or amateurs, and telling stories, and it's just a lot of fun. Can't even speak right still. It's that much fun. That is it for today's review. I hope you guys liked it. We'll see you guys next week. Subscribe. Hope you're getting out there training hard, racing hard, or probably the hardest. I know I am. Okay, bye.